Z101.9 FM. Exactly 30 minutes after 9, and we get into our roundtable discussion this morning. Today, we continue our conversation on the aquaculture that we started talking about. You know, last week we began the conversation. We touched on a few things, and some people reached out saying that, hey, let's bring back this conversation. They want to really get a lot more insight into it, and so we're going to talk about all of that this morning. And my guest is already seated. His name is Prince Okuma. He is a fish production consultant and also an aquaculture consultant, and he joins me in studio for this conversation. Prince, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, my brother.
Good to see you again, and good to have you in studio.
It's my pleasure.
All right, so let's get into our conversation. I think the other time we spoke extensively about some of the basic things, and I remember that one way. Okay, well, just by way of giving some context to the conversation, let's start from here. How would you describe the aquaculture sector or fish production sector in Ghana?
Thank you again for having me. But before I proceed, let me first of all extend my most sincere greetings to the Gonja community chief in Greater Accra, Chief Ajawole Okitikata the first, and the queen mother of the Gonja community here in Accra. Aquaculture in Ghana generally, I must say, over the past period, hasn't been one of those we could say was doing well. But I think comparatively, I think for the past, let me see, 3-4 years now, we are picking up.
What do you mean by picking up?
Picking up. So we are picking up as a country in the aquaculture sector, in the sense that if you look at that trajectory in terms of year upon year, though like I earlier on stated, the numbers that we've been having, we wouldn't say are the best anyway amongst the African continent. But year upon year, you could see that we are graduating, we are picking up, we keep increasing production
that is
year upon year. So for instance, if the past year we had, say, 1,000,000 tons of production, the subsequent year there has been an increment. The following year there has been and if you follow it, like I said, from 2023, 24 up, you will notice that there has been that kind of increment or growth, so to say, in the sector. In terms of production.
In terms of production?
Yes.
Okay. Are we seeing a lot more people go in there, and that is why we are seeing the growth in production or the increase in production, or it is just a few people that are in that space who are driving that growth you're talking about?
I will look at it in two folds. One, it's a fact. It's a fact that more people are beginning to venture into aquaculture.
Okay.
Here in Ghana, more people are beginning to see the relevance and the benefits aquaculture has, specifically fish production or fish farming. And so the numbers are helping with the production. Then again, in terms of the systems, the production systems that we use, now we have a lot more people who are using very modern systems for production. Things like RAS.
What's that?
That's the recirculation aquaculture system. Recirculation aquaculture system. This is a very robust system for producing fish. Very expensive, so to say, but it's also very efficient and effective. And I think now a lot more people are beginning to use that. It's a system that, as the name suggests, circulation.
Right.
So you do not necessarily need, for instance, the water you will be using for your culturing, you do not necessarily need to throw the water away, or to, if you like, to let the water out and then refill your system. The same water, the same system will keep cleaning the water for the same purpose, instead of you having to throw the water away.
Right. So that is actually what is driving the growth in the sector. How about the conditions? And I talk about, is there demand for that? Number one, are the policies in the space actually supporting the growth, or actually driving attention to the sector? And maybe thirdly, are there, well, of course, you talked about systems. So let's talk about the two, policy and also the issue about the demand.
Thank you again. So in terms of policy, I must say that what I do know and what we do have currently is the previous Aquaculture for Food and Jobs. The Aquaculture for Food and Jobs initiative. Which, that is as a way of government policy. Yes, the previous government Aquaculture for Food and Jobs policy in the system really, I must say, really helped in contributing to the larger numbers that have come into the system. It has also, in a way, helped many people to, produce more in our system. But after that, now that we have a new government in power, the same system or policy which was running before is still underway. And the current government, for me, to the best of my knowledge, I cannot really speak to any policy now. But I am well informed, per my research, I'm well informed that the ministry for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development is putting in place so many policies to help accelerate and boost production of fish, or to increase fish farmers in the system. And that is in terms of the policy. But like I said, to pinpoint one, let's say for the current government, I have no idea of one, but I am well informed and aware that, the ministry is putting in place necessary measures.
Well, we won't get into that, because that's now, just not why. That's not the angle for the conversation. Yes.
Now, in terms of the demand, yes, it is very clear that there is no, unless maybe you know of one, there is no household here in our country that forbids fish. Everyone, or let me be specific, every household, you will, each blessed day, they consume fish. And so that alone is enough to tell you that the demand is there and will continue to be there. I know of people and other organizations that constantly need fish in large scales. to buy, but
We're not
is
producing as much.
Where is the exactly? So though people are producing, but
It doesn't match.
To me, it's still not enough in terms of the demand.
The demand.
The demand is very high.
So that creates.
And not just internally. I mean, if there are people outside of our country. There are organizations outside of our country that need fish constantly to be supplied to them in large scales. But like I said,
we are not producing as much.
We're not producing enough.
The attention is usually on importing, and we import almost all the fish that we consume in this country.
Exactly.
And that is why this conversation is very important, because we also want to get people to, explore some of these opportunities. Because it's one way, it's one thing to look at it as a challenge in the country or a problem in the country that we are not producing and just complain about it. And it's another thing to want to get in there and actually contribute to solving the problem. So let's talk about solving the problem. One of the ways that we've identified is that the people must get on the ground and get involved. Last time when we spoke, you gave us some of the basic things, the first things that people need to do, and I want us to continue from there. Number one, you said research.
Very key.
And by research, I remember you said that the focus should be on whether there is a demand for what you want to produce.
Within your locality or within your jurisdiction.
Okay.
And the research is not only limited to just within your jurisdiction.
Okay.
So the first step is to find out from where you live, the people there, do they even, there are some people who, for some reasons, will tell you that they forbid catfish. They don't take catfish. Some will tell you they don't take tilapia. Maybe for cultural reasons, whatever reasons, traditional reasons, and among others, people will tell you they don't take catfish or they don't take tilapia. That's why it's important, first of all, for you to find out from your area, the community you live in, if it is the type that they don't consume tilapia, or it is the type that the kind of community that they don't consume catfish. If they consume all this fish we talk about, the first thing is, like I said, naturally and already, everybody needs fish to consume. Exactly. So you go out there, specific organizations, institutions, let's say schools, it could be secondary schools, it could be tertiary school institutions within your area, right? It could be hospital, among others that you visit or you reach out to them. I want to do this, but I'm looking at the demand. Maybe you've visited secondary school A. Are you people interested? Because we do know very well that they cook for students. There are restaurants. There are a lot of restaurants around. You visit them. I want to do this. I want to go into fish production. Are you in tilapia or catfish? They will tell you, we need tilapia. Or for us, we need catfish. But this is, they will even go to the extent of letting you know the size that they need and how frequent that they will need it. And so if they tell you they need, yes, they are interested in buying the fish, the next thing you have to do is to know you don't wait, because naturally you have 6 to 7 months to be able to raise your fish to the market size, that is to the adult stage. Right. Somewhere 1 kg.
Just before we come there, what are the basic or the common species or the best species to begin with? Once you've established demand, and I'm sure demand could be for any other species.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah. So which of them is the best to actually begin with? And by that, I'm not necessarily saying that maybe you're going to do the research and the research says catfish, and so you're just going to do that. But if you want to now explore, just get to learn the processes. Maybe there's no really demand for any of the things, but you just want to explore. Which ones do you begin with? Is it tilapia? Is it catfish? What exactly?
All right. So, in terms of just wanting to explore,
yeah,
but not necessarily for business
from the beginning.
You know, that it's not limited. I wouldn't say you should either begin with catfish and leave tilapia, or begin with tilapia and leave catfish.
Okay.
Either of them goes. Why? Because you said you want to explore. Their systems don't function the same.
Okay.
Their biological systems are not the same.
Okay.
The same way, when culturing them, there are certain things that you need to do for catfish when you are culturing catfish. And there are certain things you will need to do when culturing tilapia. Right. There are certain things that catfish production will entertain. But if you want to do same, or if you want to apply same for tilapia
might not work.
It might not work for you. You might end up running a very big risk, or going into, I mean, you might collapse your business. Right. That is why I said you can start with either of them.
Okay.
That is, if you want to explore about tilapia, you go ahead and then start with what? Tilapia. If you want to start with catfish, you go ahead and start with catfish. But this is it. Like I said, naturally, tilapia does not, the moment your water, fish generally, its environment is water. Just as you and I, we human beings, the air, the land, and the air we use, allows us to survive and function efficiently. The same way applies to the fish. The water is its environment.
Yeah.
And so the moment you allow the water, which is the environment of the fish, to get deteriorated, the moment you allow the water to get damaged,
you mean contaminated?
Certainly, you should know that you are going to lose your fish.
Okay, we'll talk. I want us to go on a very good journey.
Great.
So that our listeners can follow the conversation better. So, if you want to explore, we're going to talk about business. But if you want to explore, how much money do you need to be able to get in there, into the space?
Well, so again, it's dependent on, let's say, one, the type, the species of fish you want to go into. Okay. That's if it is catfish, if it is tilapia, it is dependent on the species.
Are those the only two fishes we can actually, produce a breed, yeah. Or
we are talking about fish production and aquaculture in Ghana. We are talking about Ghana. There are so many species of fish.
So for Ghana, are those
Ghana,
the only two?
We are only limited to, or we are only having tilapia and catfish.
Okay.
As the species of fish that we cultivate or we rear more.
All right.
That's catfish and tilapia in
okay.
Ghana. But that is not to say that fish farming is only limited to catfish and tilapia. No.
Okay. Right. So back to the question.
Exactly.
How much do you need?
Yeah. So, like I said, one, it will be dependent on the size. In fact, first of all, the species you want to rear. Secondly, the size. That is the quantity.
Okay.
Because if, for instance, as we speak, let's say one juvenile or fingerling of fish, being it catfish or tilapia, goes for, say, depending on where you are buying it, you could have it 1 cedi somewhere. Some places you can get it 1 cedi 50 pesos. and there are places you can get it 2 cedis. That's a juvenile of fish, being it catfish or tilapia. And so, if you want to start, and yours is that you want to start with, let's say, a 500 species. A 500 quantity of fish, and someone wants to start with, let's say, 1,000. Clearly, the amount will vary. Again, depending on the size of the system, being it a pond, being it a concrete, being it a trampoline system, being it a tank, being it a RAS, that is the raised circulation aquaculture system. Depending on the size that you want to set up, will also determine how much you need to be able to get that particular system. So if I want to start with, let's say, a 12 by 10 size, and you want to start with, let's say, a 20 by, let's say, 16, for instance, clearly the amount I will need to purchase my tarpaulin system or to set up my system will not be the same as the amount you will be starting. So, but basically, I can say, for instance, you need, let's say, somewhere around, let's say, 8,000.
Oh, 8,000 Ghana cedis.
8,000, yes. Let's say 8,000 to a 10,000.
Okay.
Ghana
for a small
cedis.
scale.
That should not be too small, but at least for something, reasonable, something, but it will not be too big.
Okay.
For you.
How many fishes are we likely to have, like with 8,000 cedis?
With the 8,000 cedis. So like I'm saying, so not the 8,000 I've mentioned. It's not
just the fishes, I know.
Exactly. Do you understand?
It comes with all the other things.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So let's say in the 8,000, maybe you want to purchase a trampoline system, but let's say which should cost you around, let's say, 4,000. And you need, you want to purchase fingerlings. You want to purchase fingerlings, which one costs you, like, let's say, 2 cedis. So you multiply the 2 cedis by, let's say, for instance, roughly, let me say, with such a system, we may need about, let's say, 100 or 150, let's say, species inside, for instance. 150. So you multiply 150% by, let's say, 150.
But does the trampoline, is it very costly? The trampoline is very costly.
Well, it's we have different types. So it's dependent on the type that you are buying.
What is the price range varies. You can just give?
Depending on, so, but the most quality for now, that to the best of my knowledge, currently the most quality is there is this fish production organization somewhere around the central region. They call them R&B fish farms. Yeah, their systems, that is their trampolines, are very, very good. So let's say, for instance, a 10 by 12, you can get it around 6,000. That one can take about 1,000 to 1,200 fish.
Okay.
Yes, 1,000 to 1,200.
But they are smaller ones.
Smaller, that's the fingerlings.
No, I'm saying that they are smaller trampolines, right?
Yes, but it's not like I said. It's just a 10 by 12, or is it a 12 by 10? So it could be like from here to here to there. So basically, that one can take about, let's say, 1,000 to 1,200 fishes in it. Ordinarily, you're not supposed to overstock the fish. Right? It doesn't mean that if you put 1,200 inside, there will be no longer space
for them to be able
to add more. There will still be enough space right, to add more. But fish farming is such that if you overstock the fish, if you overstock the system, because you could see space around, if you overstock it, you will not get good production. Your fish will not do well. Because they will struggle they will compete for the little available, dissolved oxygen.
Okay.
Oxygen, right? And then they will be crashing each other, hitting each other here and there. That it doesn't help.
It doesn't help.
And their growth will be retarded. And so you need to allow space for them to be able to do well, grow well. Yes,
Right.
please. Yeah,
You were breaking down the 8,000 cities.
exactly.
So you said you get, so the things that you get.
Good. So let's say you are buying. Let's say the system that you will buy, it will cost you around, let's say, 3,500. For instance, 3,500, and you are buying fingerlings. Let's say one that costs you around, let's say, 150 pesos. So you multiply, and so with such a system, you may need about, let's say, 150 species in it. Fish in it. 150 fish in it. You know, like I said, that's not to say that there will still be no space. There will be still more space. But in order to ensure that the fish, they are able to get enough space to function well, to grow faster and grow very healthy for you. That's why you don't need to overstock it. So let's say 150 fish in the system, and one going for, let's say, 150 pesos. You multiply 150 pesos by what? 150.
Yeah.
So the amount that comes out, you add it to. Do you get the calculation we are doing here? Exactly. So once you do that, then you know how much you will need for the fish.
The fish, okay.
For the system.
What other things do you have to buy?
Then the next thing is you need feed.
Okay.
Is
that expensive?
You need fish feed. And generally, in fish farming or in fish production, the most expensive part of it is the fish feed. When you want to go into fish farming, the first and the most expensive thing, like I said again, is the fish feed. Now, if you need about, like, the amount we have stated, 8,000 to start, for instance, be informed or be aware that 70% of that 8,000 will go for feed alone. 70% of the amount, the 8,000 you need, will go for only feed, just for one cycle. And one cycle for fish production to maturity and for market is 6 months. So the 8,000. So let's say if you need 70% of that amount for only feed, you could imagine.
Yeah.
Then the rest of the money left will cater for, other things you need to ensure that your water is always clean, because you need some, water testing equipment. You need some equipment for, harvesting the fish and all those things. So all those things come in, right? You need to test the temperature things. You need things that you use to test the temperature of the water, because, the temperature of the water must be suitable for the fish. The fish cannot survive in any temperature at all. No. So you must ensure that the temperature is favorable.
I see. Hold on for me. Let me just announce the lines in case anybody wants to join the conversation. Well, if you just tuned in, this is Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM with me, Nitra Bihamon. This morning, we're talking about fish farming or aquaculture generally here in this country. We're looking at opportunities in there. We're looking at the challenges also. And this morning, my guest is Prince Ukuma. He is a fish production and aquaculture consultant, and he's in studio with me having this conversation. You are free to join us. Send us a WhatsApp if you have questions. 0544 321019. 0544 321019. And then we give you the opportunity. We'll read your messages for you. You can also call us on that same number, or call us on 030-3956-641, 030-3956-641. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and on YouTube at Z Multimedia. You can drop a comment under the live stream and I'll read your messages for you. All right, Prince, let's continue. So with 8,000, as low as 8,000, somebody can get in there. But it looks like the things that you mentioned, like there are a lot. the testing temperature and all of these things. It means that somebody listening to us cannot just get into it and start, isn't it?
Exactly. That's why this conversation is very key.
Right. So let's talk about,
and not just somebody even getting into it. Those who are already practicing it.
Yeah.
There are many people out there, many fish farmers out there that do not know
some of the things,
how important some of these things are.
Right.
And they, as they are producing, you notice their fish don't grow fast. Somebody will be producing fish, and it will take the person like a year before the person could even raise 800 grams of fish. That is very alarming.
I see.
It means your system, you have a problem with your system.
Okay, right. So apart from the tarpaulin system that you mentioned, okay, well, so there's tarpaulin. What are the differences between the other ways to be able to keep the fish? So I know there's tarpaulin, there are ponds, and all. So what are the types that?
Yes. So we have the tarpaulin system, as you said. We have the pond. We have the concrete. We have the RAS. That's the recirculation aquaculture system. The one I said is very robust. So we have the pen system. There are some people who do this on, let's say, on the surface of the river, of a river, a lake. It could be, some to the extent of on the sea, right? So all those ones are there. So we have different ones. Yes.
But you're saying that the tarpaulin is easier to do and it's easier to use, right?
Very well. The tarpaulin is very easy. It's easy in the sense that one, it's something that you can easily move with. So assuming I'm even renting in your house and I want to do fish farming, or because I want to believe there are many people who really want to do fish farming, but they feel that where they are staying is not their own house, so they cannot do it. And their thinking is that the only way they could do it is to what? To dig a pond or to have concrete. No.
Okay.
Fish farming is not only limited to what? Pond or concrete. No.
Okay.
You can have what you call a tarpaulin system. You mount, and with that one, again, space should not be an issue. Whether the only space you have is circular, rectangular, or triangular, you can set up the tarpaulin system everywhere. And once you start your production and you're making it, and maybe your landlord feels that you're making a lot of money in his house or her house, and he begins to feel jealous and wants to sack you, you don't have anything to worry about, because as you're moving, you can just drain the water from the system, then you pack your thing and move with it.
Right.
And wherever you go, you can then go and set it up again. Unlike, let's say, the pond, where once you've dug it, you are leaving, you can't carry it along. In fact, this is one of the disadvantage, one of the major disadvantage between, that is for the pond.
That's for the pond, right. You talked about feed earlier as the most expensive.
Very.
I want us to, look at it from a policy level. Why, first of all, why is it expensive? What can be done about it for people who want to get into the space?
First of all, I must say that the demand for feed is high. That is one, I must say. And because the demand is high, sometimes people who want to, or the system, which to some extent is not the best, would want to take advantage. The system may want to take advantage. But if you look at it from another angle too, it has to do with the things that are put together in manufacturing or producing the feed that also accounts for that much of the price of the feed. Because you need, it's like somebody, you need to go and purchase maize among other things, right? And if you ask of the price of a bag of maize and the other components or items that are needed, all these things factored together, I want to believe the things that are resulting in the higher, pricing. But then again, we don't have many industries in the system that also produce fish feed. We don't have many of the factories in the system that produce fish feed, and so the very few ones are the ones that are taking advantage.
So there's
of
also
the
an
system.
opportunity in there for anybody as well.
In fact, for fish farming, the opportunities are many, because now I think we are just talking generally. We can pick the conversation from production. Look at production alone. A lot of, employment on that sector, or that in terms of the value chain.
Yeah.
Production alone, a lot of money there. A lot of employment it can create. Then you come to those who supply. There are some people, they're not fish farmers. They don't farm. But theirs is you produce. They are more or less like middlemen. Because there are people who need fish to buy, but where to source it or where to get it, they have no idea. But you know where you can get it, so you can take it upon yourself.
Right.
As a business. So once the person needs it, you go, you get the fish, you come and supply.
Okay.
In fact, there is a lot of money in that. Then, aside that, we have those who are into the processing sector. Some are also, they don't produce, but theirs is processing. Maybe they go and buy the fish. Then they will come and process it. Because the amount you buy a fresh fish is not the same amount you buy, for instance, a smoked fish. Let's say a fresh catfish, the amount you buy it, you can get a fresh catfish around some part of the country. I think Ashanti region now, you can get it around somewhere 60 cedis to 70 cedis. That's fresh. There are some parts you can go and get it 45. There are some places you go and get it around 100 cedis. But the smoked catfish, which is let's say 1 kg, you buy it somewhere 200 cedis. And then again, this is this is limited to a particular area or jurisdiction. There are some places you go, you buy it close to 300 cedis. 1 smoked catfish.
I see.
Yes. So that tells you the opportunity
in the space
and the money one can make in fish production. And like I said, in the value chain, you can choose to go in for the section of the fish farming process that you want to find yourself in. If you want to be part of producers, if you want to have your own farm to produce, you can belong there and you make your money. There are some VSs, they just produce the fingerlings. They just produce fingerlings and sell.
Okay.
That's what they do. They produce fingerlings, then they sell. They produce fingerlings, then they sell. And the demand is very high.
I see.
And some they buy they buy juveniles, then the person, and if you're approaching it, you don't approach it like something you just want to do for fun.
Okay.
If you want to approach it as something you want to do for fun, then it means you'll be doing it and you say, oh, because we said the fish will take 6 months to 7 months to grow big into 1 kg for you to buy or for you to sell, it means that you'll wait. And don't forget, I just told you that the feed is expensive. As we speak now, a bag of fish feed is around 250 cedis. 250 cedis. And so if you are buying a bag for 250 cedis, and let's say for 6 months, you need about, depending on the size of your system and then the quantity of the fish you are having, you need about, let's say, 15 bags, for instance. 15 bags, for instance. And you're buying 1 bag for 250 cedis. So multiply 250 cedis by 15. And you see that it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You see, so but if you are approaching it as a business, you've done your research online. Now social media is all over. Take advantage of it. It might even surprise you that the people, if you go online to do the research or to make people aware that you are into fish farming, or you are supplying fish, or you're producing fish, you find people from other communities. Maybe you're producing from the north, let's say from Tamale, or from, let's say, Takrade, or from East Gonja. You might find people who will tell you that, oh, they need it and in higher demand. And they may end up telling you that we don't want the fish to grow up to 1 kg, or we don't want the fish to be big. We need more quantity, but we don't want the fish to be big. So if it is up to, let's say, 300 grams, it's okay for us. So that should take you like about, let's say, maximum 3 months. It means within 3 months, they said you should supply.
Okay.
So if you have a market, if you have a buyer who says he or she just needs, or they said they only need the fish to grow up to 300 for you to supply to them, and in higher quantities, I mean, it means that you don't need to wait for 6 months, or you don't need to continue feeding the fish for 6 months.
Okay.
Before you sell. And in that case, it means that within 3 months, you just harvest the fish, then you sell to your buyer. Then you start again. You stock another one again. Then the remaining feed, or the feed that you should have continued to use, the feed you should have continued to use in feeding the fish for 6 months, the remaining ones, you could use it again to do the next, for the next three months of production, right? Making the 6 months. And within that period, what have you done? You would have noticed that within 6 months, you have been able to produce 2 times and sold and made money. While someone who is waiting for 6 months to be due for him or her to get a fish of a particular size, that is 1 kg or more, to sell, the person would have by then now going to to harvest. The problem again too is assuming that person doesn't have an already or an existing market or person to buy. That is also going to be another issue.
It's going to be a problem.
Yes.
All right.
Because you have to continue feeding the fish. You have to continue feeding them. And once the feed finishes, you have to go and buy another feed and come and continue feeding them. You keep feeding them until the fish grows. Until the fish gets market. Because if you say there is no market and as a result, you're not going to feed the fish again, all the fish will die. Yeah. So you don't say there is no market, because of that, you're not going to sell. You're not going to feed the fish again.
Them.
You must feed them.
It looks like we never get to the bottom of the conversation, because there are so many things to talk about.
A lot.
Yes, so many things.
A lot.
And today you're also opening our eyes to the fact that it's not just about going into buying fishes and coming to, rear them, but you can be a middleman. You can actually be doing processing and a lot of things. So that means that we can't finish this conversation today too. But I don't know when next we'll be able to do it. But hopefully when we are able to. So there is somebody listening to us right now who says that, okay, I've listened to all the things that you've said. Today, if I want to begin, where do I go get the fishes? Number one. And the tarpaulin and all of the systems, is there like a market for that where you can just go and purchase those things? If you can just put out that information, I think we can wrap up on that.
All right. So for fish, if you want to start, first of all, like I said, you need to it just need to get. And now I recommend the tarpaulin very well because of how mobile and flexible it is. Yeah, so it will be one of the things that you can go in for. The others, I'm not debunking them. The pond and all, they're all good.
They're good.
But just recommending that the tarpaulin will help most. And then in terms of the fish, where to get it, the finger, there are so many places around. Myself, if you reach out to me, you can easily get. I mean, depending on your location, because that will depend on your location. You understand?
Yeah,
as we speak, people are listening to us all across the country, and if I mention for Kumasi, let's say for instance Kumasi, I have colleagues in Kumasi who are producing and supplying. Like I said, fingerlings, they're producing and supplying. So the Prince, we have my own namesake. Yes, Prince is in Kumasi. He's doing well. We have other. I mean, Ashamai. We have fish farms and suppliers over there that can also help. We have R&B fish farms, which happens to be one of my training institutions where I had my training from as well. It's also contributed to my upbringing in the system. Yes. So we have R&B fish farms at Central Region. We have we have places, individuals like the likes of.
So there's no like a particular market. They are scattered around.
Oh, they are scattered
So
around.
then you have
Everybody
to
is
do-
doing their
people have to
business.
do their
Yes.
research
Yeah,
and get
Trupo
it.
Farms is there. You know, like I'm saying, yeah, we have Trupo Farms. They are also one of the leading producers in the country. You know,
Right.
Stephanie is there. Yeah, Stephanie.
Like,
You know,
people
there
don't
are a
know.
lot. Exactly.
Yes,
That's what I'm saying.
so-
So there are a lot of people, but that's
Right.
what I said. Again, if depending on the person's location, so if you want
So they
and you
can
reach
do
out to
research
me,
into it.
if you reach out to me as well, I mean, depending on your location, I can advise where you can get it, right? I can advise where you can get it. And again, so for those who may want to reach me, either
We'll give you an invoice.
that's
We'll give you an
okay. We'll
invoice.
talk about the invoice later. So for those who may want to reach me,
Just put out your social media.
yes. So on social media, you can reach out to me on Facebook at Prince Okuma.
Okay.
Prince Okuma. On Instagram, Okuma Prince Ramsey.
All right.
On TikTok, I am Prince Okuma.
Okay.
And then my number is 024-880-3998. You can WhatsApp me, you can call me, and if you want me to come and help you set up your system, if you're already doing fish farming and you're having challenges, you can let me in and I'll come and help you out. If you want to start commercially or just for, a small scale purposes, you can still always reach out to me. If you want to have a training on it, you just want to invite me to come and train you, or you're an organization and you want me to come and train your people, you are welcome. You can always reach out to me. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
Prince Charlie, thank you very much for your time, and thanks for sharing your knowledge with us. I'm sure that people are inspired to get into the space. Just like the way you're putting it, that is very profitable. I'm sure people would want to get in there and do a lot more things. And hopefully maybe somebody reaches out to you so that you can actually get some things moving. But our time is up and we have to go. And so that's how we wrap up. Thank you very much for coming.
My concern is the youth. In fact, most of the youth have money, but they don't know